Jai Shri Krishna. Today we are reading the Jabala Darshana Upanishad. Fairly short Upanishad, comparative to many. Not as short as some, though. But here we go. God, Datreya, is the reincarnation of the four-armed Vishnu, and he is the ruler of the world. Sankriti is a great devotee and a sage, and is an expert in yoga and also a disciple of Datreya. He approached his teacher, Datreya, with humility and with folded hands, when his teacher was alone, and said to him, "O God, Datreya, please tell me about the science of yoga, which has 8 branches and 5 different places, by knowing which I will attain salvation." Datreya responded, "O Sankriti, I shall tell you about yoga, which has 8 branches. The 8 branches are yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Yama, which is the first, is the practice of non-violence, truth, non-possession of property of others, celibacy, mercy, honesty, patience, stability, food discipline, and cleanliness. Niyama is the 10 aspects of penance, joy, orthodoxy, charity, worship of God, hearing of philosophy, fear of bad actions, clear intellect, chanting, and austerities. The 9 important asanas, the sitting positions, are swastika, gombuka, or cow's face, padma, or lotus, vira, or valorious, simha, or lion, bhadra, or safe, mukti, or free, mayura, or peacock, and sukha, or pleasant. That position, whatever it may be, but which makes you comfortable and gives you courage to undertake yoga, is called Sukhasana. People who do not have strength to take up other positions can use that one. Victory in the seating position is like victory over the 3 worlds. Once the asana is fixed, one should practice pranayama. Either in the top of the mountain, or by the shore of the river, or under a bilwa tree in the forest, after choosing a clean place which is acceptable to the mind, and after establishing a place to do tapas, sit in the asana which is most familiar, facing either east or north. Then sit with the body, neck, and head in a straight line, cover the face, and concentrate the vision with best possible attention on the nectar flowing from the 4th state of the moon-like dot at the end of the nose. Draw the air inside using the lungs, store it in the stomach, meditate on the flame of fire inside the body, and then shift meditation to the root of fire with its sound and dot. Then the intelligent one will exhale and draw the prana using Pingala, and meditate on the Agni Bija. Again he has to exhale and inhale again in the middle using the Ida. One should have to live in a secret place practicing this exercise 6 times for 3 to 4 days, or 3 to 4 weeks at dawn, noon, and dusk. This would help him to clean up the nadis. Slowly symbols will start showing up, body will become light, the fire in the stomach will burn well, and the voice would become clearer. These are the symbols of siddhi, or getting mastery. Till you see this, you have to practice. Now I will tell you about pratyahara. To use force and divert the sensory organs which normally travel according to their nature is pratyahara. Those who know Brahma say that seeing whatever we see as the form of Brahma is pratyahara. Pratyahara also is doing clean or unclean acts as those belonging to Brahman. Further, doing daily religious activities after dedicating them to God, and similarly doing the activities which we desire, is also pratyahara. Apart from this, inhaling of air, and stopping it in different places, is also pratyahara. The wise man would sit in swastikasana, draw his breath till it fills up from his head to toe, and hold it in 2 feet. Muladhara, stomach, middle of the heart, bottom of the neck, jaw, middle of the eyelids, forehead, and the top of the skull. Then he should leave out the belief that the body is oneself and make that thought as nirvikalpa and merge it with Paramatma. The experts in Vedanta say that this is true pratyahara. There is nothing that cannot be attained by those who practice like this. Now I will tell you about the 5 types of dharana. In the sky, which is the middle of the body, dharana of the sky outside should be made. Similarly, in the breath, dharana of air outside should be made. In the fire in the stomach, dharana of the fire outside should be made. In the fluid aspects of the body, dharana of the water outside should be made. In the earthy aspects of the body, dharana of the earth outside should be made. Also, it is necessary to chant the Pancha Bhuta mantras, Ham, Yam, Ram, Vam, and Lam. It is said that this very great dharana destroys all sins. In the body up to the knee is the aspect of the earth. From there till hip it is the aspect of water. Up to the heart is the aspect of fire. Up to the middle of the eyelids is the aspect of air. And then up to the middle of the skull is the aspect of the sky. In the aspect of earth, Brahma has to be placed. In the aspect of the water, Vishnu should be placed. In the aspect of fire, Rudra should be placed. In the aspect of air, Ishvara should be placed. And in the aspect of sky, the Sadashiva should be placed. I will also tell you another dharana. In the Jivatma, that Lord Shiva who rules over everything and is the personification of wisdom should be placed. To get rid of all sins, the wise man should suppress the gods like Brahma in the causative self and place avyakta, or that which is not clear, which is formless and which is the root cause, inside the entire soul with the chanting of pranava. He should control the sensory organs by mind and should merge them with the soul. I will now tell you about dhyana, which destroys sorrow. Dhyana should be done of that Maheshvara, who is the medicine for problems arising out of birth, who is the discipline and fundamental basis of the world, who is Virupaksha, and who is the head of all yogis as I am he. Then continue to do dhyana of him who is beyond the reach of meditation, who is the personification of Sakshadananda Brahman, and who is the soul in the person as I am he, for attaining salvation. In the mind of that great Purusha who practices like this, the science of Vedanta would automatically appear. There is no doubt about it. Now, I will tell you about Samadhi, which destroys the ills of birth and death. Samadhi is that state which there is knowledge of Jivatman and Paramatman as one. Soul is filled all over, forever, and does not have motion or stain. Though it is one, due to the effects of illusion, it appears as different objects. Really, there is no difference between these so-called objects. When one sees all objects within himself, and him as part of all objects, he attains Brahman. When one drowns himself in samadhi and does not see the entire world, it appears as an illusion to him, and he is cured of all his sorrows. Thus was advised by Lord Datreya the sage. Thus was advised by Lord Datreya to the sage Sankriti, who fully lost all his fear and attained that blissful state deep in himself, and thus is the Jabala Upanishad. And thank you for joining me on this, and you know what I'm about to say. It is an Upanishad like this which makes many of us put our hands up when it comes to Western yoga and go, you're not doing it. Because right in the beginning it listed the 8 branches of yoga and then what they were. The first 2, yama and niyama. Seriously, how many yoga teachers actually practice nonviolence, truth, non-possession of property, celibacy, mercy, honesty, patience, stability, food discipline, and cleanliness? Or penance, joy, orthodoxy, charity, worship of God, hearing of philosophy, fear of bad actions, clear intellect, chanting, and austerities? How many of them really practice all of that? Very few. Quite often they don't want orthodoxy and worshiping God. They don't want any of that. And so you're not practicing yoga according to the Upanishads, which makes us wonder, what are you doing? You're doing something else. You're doing a stretching exercise. You don't need yoga to have a stretching exercise. And so it's an Upanishad like this that really makes a lot of us just go, ugh, what have you done to our religion? You suck the soul out of it. And I'm willing to bet these teachers haven't read this Upanishad. They may have read a line about it. They may have read a list that listed all these Upanishads, and listed on it was this, but they haven't read it. I know they haven't read it.